Welcome to AP Spray Arts. Hey everyone, it's Lauren, AP Spray Arts on everything. Today we're watching a video from 2023. It's an older painting, obviously, but it's a classic painting. So here we go. I've said it a dozen times, planets, moons is where this kind of spray paint art comes from. So here I am laying down some different kinds of blues, doing like a blue moon kind of thing. White over top. I always like putting white over top. I'm going to eventually do a video of different kind of techniques to do moons and planets. I mean, everybody seems to do one, so why not? But for me personally, I like putting white over. Some people put black and white. I just like the white just because to me it's more classic. And then you come back with a shadow later on. But anyway, here I'm just layering. I didn't like what came up from doing the paper, so I decided to do a little different. And try bringing up more kind of colors. Yeah, you just gotta keep at it. You gotta trust the process and just keep at it, keep going until you get what you want. So of course, spray paint art did not start with just planets. It started back in the 50s, 60s, I think, with graffiti. If you want me to do a video on the history of spray paint art, please ask. I've kind of done just a little bit of studying of it to find out what was the history. So maybe I can do a video for you if you'd like. Most times you use bowls for the planets, moons. I happen to have these planter bases, so I use those. They're really heavy, so they hold pretty well. You don't have to put weights on them or anything. So yeah, they work pretty good for me. And here, of course, if you're wondering, I'm painting on posterboard. I get mine from a store called Dollarama mostly. It's glossy on one side, regular paper or card on the other side. It's nice and thick. I actually find it to be a lot thicker than the ones I've gotten from hobby and crafting stores. So I enjoy it. Sometimes though you gotta watch because sometimes corners are bent. Sometimes the ones you get at Dollarama are a little thinner, so you gotta watch. But lately, that's where I've been getting it because they're a lot thicker. My wife got some at a store called Hobby Lobby in the States. I find them to be really thin, and I'm not really happy with them. So this moon came out pretty good with the highlights up at the top. And here I come with a curve technique. A lot of all my stuff is techniques I've learned from everybody, because that's how you learn, right? This putting the highlighter on the outside is a little thing from Amethyst Vasquez. She does it to kind of hide the ring of doom that we sometimes get when we pull up the stencil if the paint was too wet. But she's a whole lot better at it than I am, and here I am with some clouds. I wasn't a fan of these clouds, to be honest, just because one side they're kind of going up, the other side they're kind of weird looking. But it's all practice, it's all learning, it's all trying to do different techniques and finding out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Just because the one guy can work with stencils really well doesn't mean that you're going to be able to. My hands, for instance, are a little shaky. When I go to lift up a stencil, it usually moves. So I am not a big fan of stencils, so that's why I'm trying some other techniques and trying to work it out. And sometimes you just need help from people. Spray paint artists are awesome. You ask almost any of them, they're going to give you some tips and stuff. Sometimes they're a little busy, sometimes they get tons of messages, so they can't. But guys like Casey Van Arsdale, Tom Willie Wells, Sebastian Goya, Nathan Salmon, Dex, they've all been giving me lots of hints and tips and things to work it out. And you think that maybe we're competing against each other, but we're not really. I mean, sure, online we're competing against each other, but there's billions of people in the world. So there's tons of people out there buying stuff. Locally, I don't seem to, knock wood, right now have any competition, so I've been doing trade shows. Here I come with napkin brush doing these trees. I think I use blue, green, and yellow for this probably. Definitely yellow and green anyway. So I like these trees. Back to what I was saying. Yeah, I just did my first trade show of the season last weekend. There are videos for what I did. I made 4 paintings. They were not ordered. I just made them. I like painting at craft shows because I'm there basically to try and sell my stuff and to paint. So I get 4 to 6 hours sometimes where I can just sit there and paint. And if my wife is with me, she will talk to customers, and then she'll yell at me to get up and talk to them. So I do that. But I just enjoy it because I can be creative. And sure, there's people watching me, but it's fun. Like at this one, I had a kid. He was the son of another vendor. He kept coming over. He must have come over a couple dozen times just to see what I was doing, if I'd painted anything else, all that kind of stuff. I gave him a free sticker. And hopefully he tries it, or maybe he'll come check me out some other time. Met someone else that they want to really get into spray paint art, so I gave them some tips on what to do. So maybe they'll do it, maybe I will. Maybe I just created my own competition. But you know what? There's space for all of us, really. Everybody does something different. That's the beauty of any art, really. Nobody can just do what other people do. Everybody's is a little bit different. Look at musicians. There's so many different musicians out there. Why? Because they're all doing something different. In case you want to know what I'm doing right here, I'm making the water, just spraying different colors, light blue and white in the middle, and then swipe, 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 make kind of a lake. So I know I've been all over on this video and what I've been talking about. See, that's pretty cool, but now I gotta put it down and do the mist. I always forget and I lift it up before doing the mist stuff. You'll see what I mean. So yeah, I've been all over the place on this video. Basically, I enjoy painting and I enjoy learning, and I'm learning stuff. Somebody else taught me a new technique today. He sent me a video. So I learned something new, and I'm going to be trying it out at a trade show this coming weekend. And then I got a big one the weekend after that. And then a whole bunch more and stuff. So hope you enjoyed this painting. I hope you enjoyed my ramblings. And I will see you next time soon. Those shooting stars I'm not a big fan of, but you know what? That's life. Sometimes you're not a fan of what you get done. Little Siggy in the corner. And the date might have actually been 22 instead of 23. Clear coat on top, and then there's the finished products. See you next time.